Jenny Sieck, and you might know me. I do intuitive work and counseling sessions, intuitive guidance sessions, and I am really honored to speak tonight about dreams. Dreams are probably my biggest passion. They're probably the thing that set me on a journey of psyche and change and connecting with my intuition in a way that when I was really young I couldn't have imagined. And probably they've been the things that have made me more aware on a deeper level of who I am and how to connect with other people. So I'm really honored that you decided to come here and hear about dreams tonight. So what are dreams? Dreams are these amazing things that come to us in the middle of the night that we are caught up in, that we're caught up in every way that we can be sensorially, right? We're caught up in them. We see these wonderful visions and have these wonderful, amazing feelings and experiences and hold energy in a way where it almost feels real to us in a way that's different than our waking lives. So dreams can be magical, they can defy reality, they can be scary, they can be nonsensical, they can be comforting, and they can be transcendent. They can be a lot of things. Dreams tell us about what energetically we're afraid of or about what we desire. So dreams are, depending on where we are in our own expression and understanding of ourselves, dreams can be very scary or dreams can be very enlightening and magical. And I would suggest to you that often they're scary because we live in a culture that's afraid of the unknown, afraid of the expressions of our intuition and our deeper feeling sense. So I'm going to talk tonight for the first part of the night about dreams that are scary and why they're scary and how to move through those energetic patterns in ourself to connect with what Jung called the transcendent function. I just call it the magical function, much simpler word. But Jung believed that we were innately meant to live out, or as our birthright, we were meant to connect with this magical, intuitive, alive function, and that was supposed to help us to lead the life that we were meant to lead. Unfortunately, because of some of our own families of history, families of origin stuff, and our own energetic blocks, our tendency is to sometimes hold fear in the dream. And in my own experiences with dreaming, I experienced this quite a lot. Dreams show us where we struggle. They show us things that are important. So anything that comes to us in a dream is important. It's not something to push away from. Our culture kind of suggests that we're supposed to have this mentality that's so wonderful all of the time. But if the dream brings us something that's difficult to integrate, what? Yeah. The dream brings us something that's difficult. Oh, the dream brings us something that's difficult to integrate. That means we need to deal with it. And that's why it keeps coming back in our dream, to be dealt with. So I'm going to put a little bit of a graph or picture up on the board here. So this is the realm. Oop, that one doesn't work. This is the realm of the unconscious, right? What we're a little less connected to in our lives, what we don't have a way to express or know is going on for us. As we gain more awareness about the difficult edges in ourselves, we gain more awareness of what's going on in our unconscious. These are not the best pens, but we'll work with them. This is our conscious, our waking life, our ego self. And when I say our ego self, that's important because there's a tendency to think in our special community that ego is a bad thing. Ego is a very necessary thing. We need it as a strong construct to make good choices in our lives, to have good boundaries about things. But when our ego gets fixed or static, or we need to have something come out a certain way, that's when we're a place in ego where it can be troublesome. So our conscious is what we do in the daytime of our lives, right? As we become more self-aware as people, there's an overlapping function that happens here, right? This is the awareness function, right? So in the dream, when we have a dream that's scary, what happens usually is there's a polarization of energy, right? There's one thing that's scary, and there's you, the dreaming ego. And what typically happens is there's a tendency to either want to fight the thing, move toward it, or run away from it. That's the fight or flight scenario, and anybody who's had any experience with trauma in their lives understands the configuration of that scenario. Now, it's not an issue that we have a tendency to take on one role. It's an issue that it disempowers us and we become static in that role. So, let's see, where am I going from there? So scary dreams, yeah?
That we always make the same choice?
That's exactly what I mean. That we often will make the same choice in the dream. So in my own life, when I was having these scary dreams, I would find that I was always running away, always running away. And the other thing is, this energy in psyche that takes the form of all of these different phantasmical symbols is just trapped energy in the psyche. That's all it is. And when we're sleeping, it becomes animated. So whatever we're holding energetically is what becomes animated. So scary dreams are ego-based dreams. They're dreams where there's me and whatever that energy is. And what happens is that energy gets fixed and becomes polarized, and we become static. We do the same thing in the dream again and again and again. What happens when we do this is, we wake up in the middle of the night, we can't sleep, we have insomnia, we're just scared. So, and often in these dreams there's a complex narrative or story where there's a lot to win or a lot to lose, right? So whatever this energy is, whether it's victim or pursuer, right? Do you understand that kind of? What happens is that there's a lot to win or a lot to lose. We feel like we're going to get hurt, we're going to, something's going to overtake us, this sort of thing. They can be really macabre, that sort of thing as well. So what they do is they hold trapped energy for us until we resolve it. So by allowing and noticing our experience more deeply. So instead of staying in this static role, what we do is we start to go into the dream and say,